So here we are, everybody. Haven't done as many videos this week, probably because I'm busier, but still just kind of getting light this morning. We're still struggling with the weather. I think I showed you, it's only like 13 or 14 degrees, which it's cold, but not that cold. So, and we're running into trouble right here. We need this to freeze in better to get a truck through here. And this was a little section in between this field and there's a road right here, and off to the left there was a corner that I thought would be a lot harder to navigate than this, but you can kind of see, well, it's harder to tell, but it's just spongy through here, and we don't need a whole lot of, see, there's like a 90-degree corner, so if we'd come in that way, the trailer, we would have had to, I pull ahead a little more, you can see, but right in there, we would have had to fill that, and we probably would have had to, there's water is running right there, so we're just having a little bit of trouble getting this all frozen. So and there was a couple other sections, but not bad, and you know, that's really not that bad of a section to freeze in. It's been a weird winter. We're not getting the normal cold, so in a section like that would freeze in really quick. Even if it was, you know, 13, 14 degrees and it stayed in the, you know, around 20 or teens during the day and got that cold at night, we would be able to freeze that in within 2 or 3 days. But it's been like, we'll get a cold, it may freeze in today because it's only supposed to get into the teens, and it's going to be cold tonight, but then it's going to warm up this weekend. So, and it's supposed to get into the 40s, which is very unusual for around here. So, it's just not cooperating. Once you get it frozen in, it'll handle a little warm, you know, because we're going to get some warm, but it'll cool right back down. And you know, you won't lose the frost. It'll just get a little slimy on top, as long as it's not like 3 or 4 days of warm weather. That would pull it out, but pull the frost out, I mean. But yeah, we're just having some issues with the warm weather, and you know, that this really isn't that much of a challenging winter access. You know, it's a little wet right here, but that'll freeze in. I mean, normally, you know, you'll have a whole road in the winter, like that little section I showed you guys out there that you need to freeze in the truck on. I mean, that's a big thing here in the winter is being winter roads, being able to access stuff. So, you know, you might have 2 or 3 miles of winter road to freeze in, and normally that really wouldn't be that big of a deal, but anyways, long story short, I'm not gonna get all worked up about it. We're gonna just keep focusing on processing and forwarding wood and piling it up, and then it'll freeze, and I'll have to sit on a little bit of volume, and the production here has really been really good, so for Wes, so we'll just have to, Wes and Marley, Wes's forwarder partner, so we're just gonna have to be patient. The winter will come, so I'll be back. Look at that, the sun just starting to come up over the trees. Isn't that nice? I sent Wes out to that spot in the road to try and break up and tread in the ground. For some of you who aren't from around here, or the north, or don't know anything about logging, really the best way to get some frost into the ground, get it so that it'll, you know, hold the truck or equipment is to tread it in, and work it into the ground. And, you know, you kind of trying to picture what I can describe, but you know, it's kind of like every time, you know, you'll get some frost on top, and you break it up, and every time you break it up, you're exposing unfrozen ground, or so air can get in the ground and freeze it deeper, and so you just work it in and keep breaking it up, and eventually you'll get so much frost in it you won't be able to break it up anymore. So ideally, that's what we do. That's kind of what happens in the woods with your main skid trails and stuff, and especially, you know, a haul road like that. So, and you know, it really wouldn't take a lot more cold. It's just a matter of having some cold weather, which unfortunately, you know, I can't control that. So that is out of my control, unfortunately. So I got to go back in this trail, and there was one little spur off that I got to finish processing that I didn't have time yesterday. I had to go get new tires put on my truck, get it inspected, which I've been putting off for quite a while. So I'm going to go finish this before I come back out and start the next trail. It's only a little ways in here, so I'm not traveling that far. But, alrighty, well, I'll be back. So I was just going to show, this is the little spur. I'm going to side trail. I'm going to finish process before I start the next longer trail. And you'll see this trail right here beside us is the next trail. And, I'm just going to show you a little bit how the process or thinking of when I'm laying wood down with a buncher. So, you know, when you're cutting across the lot, you're trying to kind of make sure that, it'd be kind of like mowing your lawn that has a curve in it, you know, and if you don't straighten that curve out by the time you get done finished mowing your lawn, it's a 90-degree corner, and it messes the whole lawn up. Well, it's kind of the same thing when you're running a fallow buncher or something. So the way I was cutting over there was making a curve. So in this trail I finished processing yesterday, this goes straight out back. Well, if I were to just, follow this trail, it would start getting this curve, and it wouldn't have laid right. It would have been a weird trail. So instead of doing that, of course I was cutting my way in. So all I did was I knew that there was this little corner that I needed to straighten out, so I walked the buncher in there and then just laid one little short trail in here back out to this trail, so that when I was doing this one I can do this, and it just kind of straightened everything out. And you're not messing up all your trails. So that was that little part. I figured I'd show you guys. And there's a lot of little things like that I think most guys or gals don't really think that much about, and it's just something you do and it's something you learn, and everybody does it different. And there's probably some guys that haven't learned or don't have the experience, and when you go into a job and you're like, what in the heck are this guy doing? Well, he probably just hasn't learned it or been taught that yet. So you can see I have this short little trail in here, and when Wes comes into forward, he can just back up in here and come back out on the same trail. the boom's broke on the forwarder, so I haven't quite seen yet what broke, but oh joy, be back. I don't know.
I think you're gonna have to take it off. There's no way to gusset that.
Okay, so this will be the end of this video, and I guess I'll try and do another video during this process, but so I just had the welding guy come out here, and I think I already have a video showing this, but what we're gonna do, we gotta take the main boom off. Or not the main boom, the jib boom. I'm gonna go get plugs so I can plug those hoses. We'll undo the dog bone, and so we'll get the bucket back up, and the rotor motor will stay on it, and then we'll chain the extender boom or strap it so it stays in the jib boom, and then once we get all the hoses unhooked, and I'll undo that pin right there on the dog bone, and then we'll take that boom off. And I'll have to undo the pin right there to get the pin boss out so I can bring that so he can fit it back in there and get that all back to where it should be. And Don, the guy that does the welding, he's really good. Unfortunately, we had this fixed this spring. They put gussets there, but I think that it wasn't quite done quite right, and I didn't see the other crack, so yeah, plenty of wood piled up, but forward's in the way. We got a broken boom, and the road's not freezing up, so we'll deal with this problem and then move on. Like, subscribe, comment. We'll catch you later.